Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Angel and I'm so glad that you are here. Today is cold and rainy and it's perfect soup weather. I have 3 soup recipes for you today. These are some of my family's favorite recipes. So have a seat and let's get started. I'm going to make creamy chicken noodle soup. I have a large saucepan and I'm going to turn my heat to a medium-high. Add 2 tablespoons of butter or margarine. The recipe calls for 2 stalks of celery and 2 carrots, thinly sliced. I do not have celery, so I sliced up an extra carrot. If you have an onion, you can dice that and throw that in there. And cook this for about 10 minutes. Stirring occasionally. If the carrots start to stick to the pan, turn your heat down to a medium. After 10 minutes, I need to add up to 2 cups of cooked chicken. I have 1 cup of rotisserie chicken that I've diced up, 1/8 of a teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of parsley flakes, 4 cups of chicken broth. If you do not have chicken broth, you can add 4 cups of water and 4 teaspoons of chicken bouillon. Water. And to cut back on sodium, I have 2.5 teaspoons of the chicken bouillon. I've cut back on the bouillon before and there's really no difference in the flavor. So this part isn't necessary, but I have some vegetable puree left from when I made my vegetable broth in my vegetarian video. I froze it in an ice cube tray so it's easy to measure out when I need it. I have 1/4 of a cup and I'm going to stir that in. I'm going to cover this and let it simmer for 20 minutes. It's been 20 minutes and I need to add 8 ounces of egg noodles. This is a 16-ounce package, so I'm just going to use half. And I am going to be needing more liquid in here because the noodles will absorb it. I'm going to add about 2 cups of water. And if I need more, I can add more later. I'm going to stir this occasionally and let that cook for 10 minutes. It's been almost 10 minutes. I'm going to add the rest of the water that I have. So it'll be 4 cups extra total. I'm going to stir this up and bring this to a simmer. All right, this has been warming up for about 3 minutes. The noodles are cooked. I need 3 tablespoons of cornstarch and 3 tablespoons of water. I'm going to mix that together. Bowl with a lid. If you do not have a bowl with a really good lid, this one does not leak. Well, it shouldn't. My luck, it probably will. If you do not have a lid like this, you can just whisk it and whisk it until the cornstarch has been mixed in with the water. I'm going to add this to my soup and stir it, and this will thicken it up. Just keep stirring, otherwise the cornstarch will stick to the bottom and you'll get lumps. You don't want that. Sauce is getting thick. I don't want it too thick, so I think this is good. The recipe calls for 1/2 of a cup of heavy cream. I do not have that. You could also use evaporated milk. I am just going to use skim milk. And it will work out just fine. Stir that in. Heat it through for about a minute and it is ready. And that is creamy chicken noodle soup. I'm going to make hamburger soup in the crock pot, but first I need to prep my vegetables. I have 3 potatoes that are peeled. I'm just going to dice these. You want them about this size. I need 2 stalks of celery diced and 2 carrots diced. I do not have celery, but I have carrots. I have lots of carrots, so I am going to dice up 5 of them. You want them about like this. I need a medium-sized onion diced. I have this large one, so I'm just going to do half. I need 1 pound of cooked ground hamburger or ground turkey. I have some ground turkey, and if you've been watching my videos, you know that this is only 1/2 of a pound because I think 1/2 of a pound is plenty for a recipe like this. I have my diced onion, 1.5 teaspoons of minced garlic, carrot. I have my 3 large potatoes diced, 1 15-ounce can of diced tomatoes. You could use petite diced if you'd like. Don't forget to wipe off the top of your can. 4 cups of beef broth. If you do not have beef broth, you could use 4 cups of water and add 4 either the cubes of beef bouillon or 4 teaspoons of the powder. If you are using ground turkey like I am, you could use chicken broth in place of the beef broth. I have 3 cups of chicken broth, and then I'm going to add 1 cup of water and a beef bouillon cube, just because it's ground turkey and it doesn't really matter. 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, 1 teaspoon of Italian seasoning. I have this red wine style Italian seasoning. I'm just going to use that. Salt and pepper to taste. I'm just going to do 2 big pinches of salt. Sprinkle on the pepper. I can always add more salt and pepper later if I need it. Stir this a little bit. This is not needed, but I have some veggie puree left from when I made my veggie stock. I made veggie broth in my vegetarian video. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's really good. Pour that in. Again, it's not needed. There's just carrots, onion, and garlic in here, so it's just a little extra flavor. And there's black pepper in here. All right, now I'm going to cover and cook on low for 6 to 8 hours. I've had this on low for 6 hours. I'm just going to stir it. I'm just going to try a little bit. Make sure I have enough salt. It tastes really good, but it does need a little bit more salt, so I'm going to add about 3 more pinches. These are small pinches. And I'm going to add some more black pepper. Stir that, try it. I think the seasoning is perfect. I will set out the salt and pepper for anyone who thinks that they need a little bit more. Then you just need to add one more thing. It's perfect like this if you have peas. You can add a can of peas, drain them, add them in here. I have some frozen peas. It's a little bit more than 1 cup. That was all that was left in the bag. Add that. I'm just going to stir this in and then cover and set on high for 15 minutes. And then it's ready to serve. It smells really good. And now it's ready. It smells so good and looks delicious. Even with half of a pound of meat, this looks really hearty. And that's dinner tonight. Hamburger vegetable soup. I'm going to make creamy vegetable soup. I have an electric kettle. If you're cooking this on the stovetop, you'll need a large saucepan and cook over medium to medium-high heat. I'm going to plug this in and turn this to 200 degrees. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of olive oil. I'm just going to guess. The recipe calls for 2 stalks of celery sliced and 2 carrots sliced. I do not have celery, but I have carrots, and I diced up 4 carrots. I sliced up 4 carrots. You can add 1 medium onion chopped. I have less than that, but it's a little bit. I'm going to stir this. Cook this for about 5 minutes, stirring occasionally. I need 3 to 4 cups of diced potatoes. I diced up 3 potatoes, so that is 3 cups. 1½ teaspoons of salt, and I have just over 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. The recipe calls for 1 teaspoon. I will explain later why I'm only using 1/4 teaspoon. 1 teaspoon of minced garlic. The recipe calls for 2 teaspoons of thyme. No thank you, I will do a pinch. I'm going to stir this and then cook for 1 minute. I need 4 cups of vegetable broth. If you are not a vegetarian, you could add 4 cups of water and 4 teaspoons of chicken bouillon. I have some homemade vegetable broth. When I made my vegetable broth, I made a puree from all the vegetables, and I'm going to add that now. There's about 1/4 cup. And this has a lot of peppercorn in here, which is why I did not add the full teaspoon of pepper. Then stir this and bring it to a boil. This is coming to a boil. I'm going to turn my heat down and let it simmer for 20 minutes until the vegetables are soft. It's been 20 minutes, and I am going to scoop out about 2 cups of this, and then I'm going to mash it up. If you have a blender or a food processor, you can use that. I'm just going to use my immersion blender. This is what it should look like. Then I'm going to add that puree back into the soup, and this will help thicken it. I'm going to stir this. The recipe calls for 1.5 cups of frozen corn. I have some corn that I cut off the cob this year, so I'm going to add that. If you have canned corn, that's fine. And then 1.5 cups of frozen peas. Again, if you have canned peas, that's fine. Just drain your peas and corn. And then 1 cup of milk. I have skim milk. If you are making this vegan, you can always use plant-based milk. I'm just going to cook this for 5 minutes, and then it's ready. This is one of our favorite soups in this house. We have a lot of favorites, but this one's really good. That's how you make creamy vegetable soup. Thanks for joining me today. What is your favorite kind of soup? Feel free to leave the recipe in the description box. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.